ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यम् करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Om. May He protect us both. May He nourish us both. May we both work together with great energy. May our study be thorough and fruitful. May we never hate each other. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.
Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. So Ram Kumar, the eldest brother of Sri Ramakrishna, had warned Ramakrishna, wanted to inspire him that he should pay attention to education. Sri Ramakrishna's typical reply was, I do not want that education which will only make me a worldly person. I want that education by which I can realize God, or I know what is the truth. I know what is reality. And Swami Sharadanji remarks that Ram Kumar never understood his brother's mind. In fact, very few people have understood Sri Ramakrishna's mind at that time. Mind you, when this reply was given by Sri Ramakrishna, what was his age? About 17, 18 years old. And that reply must have been a shock to Ram Kumar because Ram Kumar's whole idea of life is he must get married and he must earn his money. Only then he is a person living like a normal person. But he never understood what Sri Ramakrishna himself had to become later on. Did Sri Ramakrishna understand what he was to become later on? No. At that point, this is a special point in Sri Ramakrishna, great master, is only after going through all the spiritual sadhanas, when he became perfect, then the Divine Mother revealed to him that he has a very special mission in life. Until that time, first Sri Ramakrishna thought that his ideal goal in life was to become like his father. What was his father? He was perfect morally. He was extremely sincere, Shraddhavan, and he was devoted to God and especially devoted to truth. Truthfulness was his forte. He was ready to give up everything for the sake of truthfulness. But Sri Ramakrishna never thought that I have to renounce the world, I have to realize God, and I have to be a world teacher. That idea, what he was, what his mission in life was, came to him only much, much later on. After realizing God, then the Divine Mother revealed to him, this is what you have to become. Anyway, coming back, now this was, Sri Ramakrishna said, I do not want that education by which I would become a worldly person. What does he mean? I want that education by which I can realize God. This was the ancient Vedic ideal of education. This is especially reflected in the Mundaka Upanishad, a Virupanishad, but very graphically, Mundaka Upanishad and Chandogya Upanishad. Just let me quote. Mundaka Upanishad there was a great householder called Shaunaka. He approached a great rishi called Angiras. And naturally Angiras asked him, and what is it that you want? Why did you come to me? He said, I want to have knowledge of that by knowing which everything can be known. By knowing one, I will know everything. That answer automatically means that the disciple already knows one thing. There is something by knowing which he can know everything. He doesn't know what it is, but he knows that. How does he know? Through scriptures, through elders. How does he know? By faith. He knows that there is something by knowing which he can be a knower of everything. In other words, these are all indirect words. What it means is by knowing God, one can know everything. Because by knowing God means God is everything. If God is everything, if I know God, then I become everything. What is the meaning of knowing here? We use certain words in English language. I take a book and say, do I see this book? Yes, I see this book. What do I say? I see this book. Suppose you are telling me something. You know what I say? I see. Means what? I understand what you mean. Even then there is a sense of duality. You are there, I am here, you are saying something to me, and I understand what you mean. But in Vedantic language, seeing means becoming. Knowing means becoming. Is it the distinction? In worldly life, knowing something means having knowledge of something. In spiritual life, knowing means becoming that thing. There is a beautiful, again we get only in the Upanishads. In all Upanishads, especially there is one Upanishad which expresses it very beautifully. It is called Taittiriya Upanishad. It says, Brahmavit apnoti param. By knowing Brahman, Brahmavit means knower of Brahman, becomes Brahman. That means by knowing Brahman, he becomes everything. Sarvam apnoti. He attains everything. How can one attain anything by knowing? In this world, knowing is one thing and attaining is totally different thing. I know this table. So what? I am different. I know that there is a car in that shop. Does it become mine? No. But knowing God means what? I become God. That is the precise term in Vedantic epistemology, which means knowing means becoming. There is a branch called epistemology. The business of epistemology is how does knowledge take place? What do you mean by knowledge? And how does it take place? I see this object. I know it is a table. How do I know it is a table? I issued a statement. I am seeing a table. But that is not the logical thing. I see an object. I don't know what it is. After some time I come to know what it is. Then I say, this is a table. But how do I know it is a table and it is not a cow? Because the Vedantic epistemology says the mind combined with reflected consciousness goes out, identifies itself with this object, brings, like a camera, brings the impression. You know, how does a camera take photos? Three things are necessary. The film, special film is needed, and special lens is needed, special light is needed. If there is no light, if one of these components is missing, it will not come. Let us take this definition of knowledge. What is it? Our mind becomes identified with any particular object. And the more it is capable of identifying, the more would be our knowledge. For example, I see only the surface, isn't it? I don't know what is underneath it. Therefore, all I know, there may be gold, there may be a snake, there may be a bomb. I don't know because I can't see it. But whatever I could see, the mind goes, brings the impression and says, anything that looks like this is a table. This is how knowledge arises. But what Vedanta says is, you cannot know Brahman like that. What is the reason? What is the reason? Because Brahman is not an object. Brahman is the very subject. That means, how do I know a subject? Simple question. How do you know how your face looks? Yes, but how does the reflection come? You need a mirror. So, how does one know that I am God? We also need a mirror. You know what is the mirror? It is called Shastra Darpana. And who is a guru? A guru is one who supplies the mirror. What does a guru give? Does he say anything outside scripture, or whatever he says is nothing but scripture only? So that scripture, Shastra Darpana, it becomes. What does the Shastra say? You are thinking, everybody is telling, you are thinking, I am a man, I am a woman. But the scripture tells you, no, you are not a man, you are not a woman. You are Brahman. That is what it says. Now that's what Sri Ramakrishna wants to know. I want that knowledge by which I know God. I become God. I realize God. Okay, here is the goal, and you have decided to have it as Tattva. Sri Ramakrishna was clear. Purushartha, Sri Ramakrishna was clear. Where is Hita? Hita means what? The opportunity to fulfill this desire. But God has arranged. That's what we are going to discuss today. Dakshineshwar temple has been specially created by the Divine Mother, solely, exclusively for whose purpose? For Sri Ramakrishna's purpose. And some of the Swamis do not call it Dakshineshwar. Do you know what they call it? The Parliament of Religion. Dakshineshwar is nothing other than Parliament of Religion. Because this is the ideal which Sri Ramakrishna had to propagate to the whole world. Let me discuss this point a little bit. You know, already we discussed about Rani Rasmani and Dakshineshwar temple. But very briefly, Rani Rasmani was a girl born to some Kaivartaka family, living somewhere in a remote village, and one day a young man who was already married, I think twice, Rajchandra, and he saw this girl by chance and fell in love and declared he would not marry anyone else excepting this girl. And his father was very happy. He arranged the marriage, and the moment she stepped inside, something took place. You know what is it? As though Lakshmi Devi had entered into that family. They say, you know, when some brides enter into the house, the prosperity comes. The moment she stepped, immediately the wealth started to increase. For what? For what purpose? Is it for Rani Rasmani's purpose? Was it for her husband's purpose? Was it for her family's purpose? It was for whose purpose? Divine Mother has arranged. We know that her husband passed away very soon afterwards, and the Rani, really she was devoted to the Divine Mother, and then she cherished a desire to visit Kashi, Vishveshwara, Annapurna, but it is, as we discussed, on the first day, when she was almost ready to start, or some say she started, reached from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar, she had a dream, a divine dream. You don't need to go. Why could not the Divine Mother intimate it a little bit earlier? After making her go through all this rigmarole, nearly she allotted 1 lakh of rupees in those days. Can you imagine? 1 lakh of rupees in those days for the only pilgrimage. And 100 boats were got ready. And the moment that she reached Dakshineshwar, or even at home, the dream came, you don't need to go, and you build a temple. And we know that she stopped, she believed in that dream, and she constructed. How much money she spent for that temple? 9 lakhs of rupees. 7 lakhs of rupees for the total expenditure of the temple, surroundings, etc. 2 lakhs of rupees for what purpose? For maintenance. To buy an estate in East Bengal. Now that is gone to Bangladesh. But at that time, for a long time it was there. Until 1947 or so it was there. So that income. Total 9 lakhs of rupees. It is unbelievable. 9 lakhs of rupees. And that is only peanut for Rani Rasmani. Just imagine. But that big-heartedness, so that she could spend so much of money, it is wonderful. Anyway, as you know, the temple was ready, the image was ready. And Rani Rasmani started living like a pious devotee. From the day the construction of the temple started, the image also started. And then the image was ready and it was kept in a box. One night, Rani dreamt. The Divine Mother appeared to her and said, how long are you going to confine me in this box? I am sweating. That means what she says is, install me. And the Rani quickly decided she has to install on the nearest auspicious date, which happened to be Snana Yatra day, which is sacred for whom? For the Vaishnavas, not for the Shaktas. She decided to do it. Everything was ready, but a great obstacle had come. No Brahmin was ready to do puja in that temple because it was built by a low caste person. Mother Kali belongs to which caste now? low caste. No Brahmin wants to worship Mother Kali because the temple was built by a low caste man. What wisdom the Hindus have got, Then the Rani had to take written opinions, and fortunately one of the written opinions was given by whom? By none other than Ramkumar. And the special thing was, his was the only opinion which showed a way to Rani that if the Rani transfers the ownership to a Brahmin, then Brahmins can do it. And she promptly did it in the name of her own family priest. But then Brahmins were not ready. Now here is the test. It is wonderful to give an opinion. Do you believe in it? So the Rani was in this dilemma that even though she followed Ramkumar's advice, nobody was ready. She sent news, will you come? It is a big thing, big test. Because okay, Shastras say, but I don't believe in it. I am not ready to do it. Two problems. I don't believe in it. Second problem is, if I do against the will of so many other Brahmins, and what will they do? They will outcast. But he was not afraid because he was tremendously devoted to God. It doesn't matter God in which form. But Sri Ramakrishna had big objection of all the people. What big objection? How do we know? How do we know? He had objection. He would not take prasada. The food was cooked with Ganges water by Brahmins. It was offered to the Divine Mother, but he would not touch it. What orthodoxy, That was a true orthodoxy. Because it was not a narrow-minded orthodoxy. It was an orthodoxy based upon his father's model of life. But very soon, Ramkumar could not convince him. Then they had to take recourse to Dharmapatra. So they will, if a person is unable to decide what to do, what not to do, he will write, yes, it is right, no, it is not right, put it in a pot, call a small child and ask him to pick up. Whichever comes, both parties must accept it. And the verdict came, Ramkumar is right, there is nothing wrong, everything is fine. Ramakrishna accepted it intellectually, but not emotionally. He refused to take prasada for quite some time after that. Anyway, let me first finish this part. The temple was ready. Ramkumar came and did what is called opening of the temple. Afterwards, the Rani found out he was truly devoted to God, and the way he performed puja was not to be compared with how other people perform puja. Not only he did it because he was expecting something, but he did it wholeheartedly. Immediately the Rani requested him, I will look after your family, why don't you become a permanent priest here? And neither he knew, nor Rani Rasmani knew, nor Sri Ramakrishna knew that his permanency lasted how much? About a year's time. In those days, the longevity was not very long. Ramkumar's, this was, somehow I will put my brother in charge because he knew Sri Ramakrishna loved puja. And what were the two requirements for Karma Yoga? We discussed in our last Gita class. One must love whatever work. Otherwise it will be Indian Karma Yoga. You know what is Indian Karma Yoga? The fellow has absolutely no interest in his job. Disinterested work is definition of Karma Yoga. But Sri Ramakrishna loved puja. Why? Because he loved God. Ramkumar really did that one, but he was becoming old, feeling the old age. He wanted to somehow establish. It took some time. We will come to that point. Now, the most important thing I wanted to discuss before we go further is, when the field is ready, the seed will come. This was what Swami Vivekananda said. That is to say, inquiry that how do I know who is my guru? How do I know? Where shall I find my guru? The answer was, you don't need to find. You be ready. When you are ready, guru will come. In that context, Swami Vivekananda said this one, when the field is ready, the seed will come. That means when you are ready, the guru will come. Can we also reverse it and say, when the seed is ready, the field also will be ready. Is it a truth or not? When the seed is ready, when a person is ready, can it be that there is no field? So Sri Ramakrishna, as soon as he was ready, field was ready. What was that field? he has to be in that temple, and that would be the greatest parliament of religions. What is my point here? When Sri Ramakrishna was ready, the temple was also ready. Does it apply only in the case of Sri Ramakrishna, or does it apply in our case also? What do you say? Do we get what we deserve? One point. That is the law of karma. Do we get what we deserve when we deserve or when we don't deserve? When we are ready, when the karma phala is ready, we are ready. When we are ready, the karma phala is also ready. That's a very important point. Because if we are not ready, we may have God himself as guru or whatever, it's not going to work out. And when we are ready, even an ordinary person tells something, instantaneously there would be a transformation. And that is called conversion. And there was a very deep thinker in the 19th century, who was almost considered as the father of modern psychology, William James. And he had written one of the most wonderful books, Varieties of Religious Experience. And in that he says, when a conversion takes place, three things happen. Or, let us reverse it. When a person is ready for three things, then the conversion would take place. What are those three things? First of all, the conversion is for life. It is not going to change. Second, the conversion is always an upward movement. That means you don't call it conversion, a person goes down, it's not conversion. Always the person upward means only towards God. And thirdly, the entire personality becomes integrated. These three things. And that's what happened to Sri Ramakrishna. He was ready, the temple was ready. What a wonderful thing it is. Then it is that this Ram Kumar happened to be only an instrument. What was the, so to say, what was the mission of Ram Kumar's life? To bring Sri Ramakrishna to Calcutta and to officiate in the temple opening of Rani Rasmani and to do for some time puja. Slowly through him, Ramakrishna also was dragged, and once Ramakrishna was set there, the mission of Ram Kumar was complete, and he goes. But the most important point, just now I mentioned, in our life also, exactly same thing happens. Whenever we are ready, things will come. And when things come, we have to understand we are also ready to use them. But even when I come, when I am ready, my circumstance is ready, and we are together, something called Purushakara is necessary. Now we have to use it. If we don't use it, then we will not progress. Fortunately, Ramakrishna has used it. In this world, whether it is God, whether it is ordinary person, same law applies. When we are ready, God is ready. When God is ready, we are also ready. Even when both of us are ready, but an effort also has to take place. This is the background I wanted to discuss. The cause of Ramakumar starting the toll in Calcutta. This is the chapter 4, the Kali temple at Dakshineshwar, in the second book of Sri Ramakrishna, the great master. Until Sri Ramakrishna comes to Dakshineshwar temple was the first part. Second part is sadhanas, etc. When did Ramakumar start? And what was his age? The date of the starting, probably Ramakumar was 45 years old when he started his toll in Calcutta. And why did he start the toll? Toll means what? Sanskrit school. When did he start? In 1850, approximately. We hope Sharadananji's calculation was correct. At that time, Ramakumar was 45 years old. Probably he lived only another 1 year, not more than 1 year. Meanwhile, Rani Rasmani lived in Jan Bazar in the south of Calcutta. She was the mother of 4 daughters and became a widow at 44. She inherited the huge property her husband Rajchandra Das. The Rani's devotion to the goddess. Endowed with many virtues, Rani Rasmani bore great devotion to the holy feet of the goddess Kali. How do we know? Sri Rasmani Dasi, longing for the feet of Kali, were the words engraved in the official seal of her estate. We have heard from the master himself that the Rani's devotion to the goddess was expressed in all her words and actions. Now, the Rani got divine instruction when she was getting ready to go to Kashi. We already discussed it. The Rani, it is said, had cherished in her heart a longing, a strong desire to go to Kashi and pay obeisance and offer special worship to Vishveshwara, the Lord of the universe, and Annapurna, the Divine Mother. When everything was ready, she had the vision of the goddess in a dream the night before her departure. The goddess gave her this instruction: there is no need to go to Kashi. Install my stone image in a beautiful spot on the bank of the Bhagirathi and arrange for my daily worship and food offering. Very intelligent lady, you know. Okay, puja, you do it. What about my food? So you call me to your home, you do Pad puja and no food. What would be my condition? You know, she doesn't want anybody to work hard intellectually. I am giving you crystal clear instructions, you just follow them. Not only worship, food offering. I shall manifest myself in the image and accept your worship daily. I just want to put a comment upon this. I shall manifest myself in the image. This is a belief among Hindus. You know, Hindus worship gods and goddesses in many images. Images, photos, etc. There is, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Durga image, etc. If the sculptor is devoted, if the pujari is devoted, if the Yajamana means what? The person who organizes the puja is devoted, then divine God or goddess manifests in that image. In South India, there is a tradition. It is called Archa Avatara. You know, Avatara means what? Incarnation of God. According to Visishtadvaita, there is one Avatara. It is called Archa Avatara or Archana Avatara. That means what? When God is worshipped with devotion in a photo or an image, then God specifically manifests in that image, blessing devotees for all time to come. That's what happened in Dakshineshwar. So you know, when Sri Ramakrishna was worshipping, people started whispering he was a madcap. Then the priest wrote a letter to Madhur Babu that this Bhattacharya's worship, if he continues, Sharbanash Hobi. And then he said, you know, don't do anything, I will come and I will myself do. Then he came unbeknown to anybody, watched Sri Ramakrishna doing the worship. And Sri Ramakrishna, did you know, he did not take notice of Madhur Babu at all. He was singing, he was praying, he was weeping, and he was touching this chin of the mother and then going round dancing, and Madhur Babu was given divine insight that this is not an ordinary person. You see, it is the same worship Madhur Babu saw, it is the same worship everybody else also had seen. But what was the difference? They did not understand, he alone understood. Then he went back and said, let Bhattacharya continue, and then he went and told Rani Rasmani, we have got a divine worshipper, the mother will awake very soon. What a beautiful word. Jagrat hoi jabe. That is the belief in there. Now you see, Sri Ramakrishna literally fulfilled that condition. Divine Mother is awake. Now when we go to Dakshineshwar, do we feel that she is awake or not? Yes, we feel that Mother is absolutely awake. That is why people are, you know, some temples, Simhavahini, and Holy Mother's mother offered. Then, she came in the dream and gave some medicine, etc. Even after that, many people believe she is very awakened deity. So you see, one day a devotee came to Holy Mother, and this lady, devotee, she was worshipping Sri Ramakrishna. One day, this lady had a dream, I think. She said, Mother, I saw Sri Ramakrishna was sweating. Means the image was sweating. This devotee did not know whether she was imagining or is something going on. When she expressed, Holy Mother said, my child, it is true. Holy Mother herself narrated one of her experiences. One day she woke up and suddenly saw Sri Ramakrishna was lying on the floor, and then Holy Mother did not know, because what we call putting the god or goddess to bed. That means, what is putting God or goddess to bed? And what is waking up? There would be a bed, like our bed. There would be a pillow. What they do, when they wake up, the photo will be kept like that, sitting position. Putting bed means the pillow will be kept like that. So every day morning the pujari will go, and there are certain mantras and stotras they will make, and afterwards they change the piece of cloth, and if it is Swami Ramakrishna, he would also supply a twig. That is the faith. And Holy Mother also uses every day tobacco tooth powder. Holy Mother confirmed to the devotee, yes, the master, his sweats when it is hot. Holy Mother dreamt one day that Sri Ramakrishna was lying down. Then she ran to the shrine. What did she find? Ramakrishna's photo was lying. Why was he lying? Then she saw there were some food particles were there. So many ants were crawling there. Now, how did Sri Ramakrishna sleep down? He says, I cannot move. That's why scripture describes immovable. How did he move? Devotion. That means what? Photo or an image comes to life endowed by the devotion of the devotee. It is called Archavatara. Avatara means a special power incarnates, manifests in a photo or an image. That is what called Archavatara. The Rani built the temple, and Rani's desire to offer cooked food to the goddess was fulfilled only through Ram Kumar's advice, and he himself started. Now, for 1 month, Sri Ramakrishna did not stay there. Where was he living? In Jamkur. And now Ram Kumar had to wind up his toll because Rani Rasmani had offered his permanent job. And so, Ramakrishna was now in a dilemma. Where is he going to stay? Because if there is no toll, then he will also have come. But he didn't like it. Reluctantly he came, and he used to take provisions from the store, cook with his own hands, and spend the whole time in meditation, puja, and he loved that place. And that was what he was looking for. That was the exact place he was looking for, because it was isolated, and very few people used to go in those days. And the Panchavati was full of jungle. Even daytime people were frightened for the fear of snakes, etc. Night time they were frightened of ghosts. Why were they frightened of ghosts, Dakshineshwar? Because what was the land before? It was a crematorium, and Muslim crematorium. And the land was supposed to be like this, like the back of a tortoise. And the Rani had leveled it and built the temple there. And in Tantric scriptures it is said that is the best place for Tantric practices. And Sri Ramakrishna had to practice Tantric practice especially. When Bhairavi Brahmani came, she made Sri Ramakrishna go through Tantric practices because she was an expert in two practices. Tantric practices as well as Vaishnava practices. And she made Sri Ramakrishna go through both these things. But she was not an expert in Advaita practices. And in fact, she had a misconception that it is inimical to one's devotion, etc. Which Sri Ramakrishna had to break. And it took long time for that notion to be broken. We are now in chapter 5, Assumption of the Office of the Priest. The behavior and the resolve of Mathur since he saw the master for the first time. Meanwhile, Ram Kumar was doing the worship. What was Sri Ramakrishna doing? In Bengali we say, Gure Bedach. So he was going on roaming because he gets food, he eats food, and he did not take from the temple. He used to take the provisions. That's very interesting point. If you take provisions, they are pure. If you only it is cooked, then it is not pure. Wow. Yes, so many people have got this misunderstanding. You remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was Nimai, small boy, an Orthodox Brahmin came to his family. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family itself was an Orthodox Brahmin family. Shachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra. So this man took provisions and he cooked himself and offered to Lord Vishnu. This young boy, he got this smell. He ran, and when that man was meditating, and really that meditation must have been quite good in the presence of Nimai, he finished all this thing. Then only this person had come to his senses and said, "Oh, you rogue, you have spoiled God's food." Like that, Second time he cooked. Same thing happened. Third time he cooked. What happened? What happened? Then Nimai revealed himself as the Ishta Devata, chosen deity of that guest Brahmin. But my point is, even though Jagannath Mishra himself was a Brahmin, very orthodox Brahmin, Kulina Brahmin, and this Brahmin will not eat food cooked in this family, such was the orthodoxy. But Nimai had broken, actually blessed. Same thing happened in the case of Sri Ramakrishna also. First day when Bhairavi Brahmani came, she had taken provisions from the Dakshineswar temple. She went to Panchavati, cooked the food and offered to whom? To her chosen deity, who was Ramachandra. She used to carry Raghuvir Shila around her neck, and when she sat to offer, Sri Ramakrishna was in his room. He felt a very strong urge to go to Panchavati. What did he do? He simply ran, sat down, the offerings are, everything is ready, and finished. An old samskara, where will it go? Samskara will be there. That was what he did that time also. It's the same thing which has come out. Simply for somebody closed the eyes, nice food is there, and he finished it. Then what did Bhairavi Brahmani see? Her own Ishta Devata in Sri Ramakrishna. But then, like Maya, she forgot about it. This is the Divine Mother's play. So when Sri Ramakrishna was forced to come to Dakshineswar, spend for about a month's time, he was taking provisions, he was not eating the food. Madhur Babu noticed him. And Swami Sharadhanji remarks, when we meet some people, we feel instantaneously related. Why does that happen? You know what was the explanation? When we had past life, Anubandha we call it, relationship, and death separates us. In this life, when we happen to meet these two people, instantaneously there is somehow, you cannot explain why it is, how it is, but there is an attraction. Madhur Babu, instantaneously he was attracted to Sri Ramakrishna. Was Sri Ramakrishna attracted to Madhur or not? Not at the beginning. Not at the beginning. But Madhur Babu was strongly attracted. And he was trying to rope in Sri Ramakrishna so that he would take up the priestly business. And Sri Ramakrishna was completely unwilling to take up that work. So he was avoiding Madhur Babu as much as possible. Then what happened? That the divine play, Sri Ramakrishna had a nephew called Hriday. Hriday was Sri Ramakrishna's sister's son. I think Hemangini Devi? I think. And he was in search of job. At that time, this Hriday was how many years old? 16 years old. And he was searching. He was somewhere at Bardwan and he was not getting a job. Why was he not getting a job? Because if he doesn't come to Dakshineswar, Sri Ramakrishna will not accept. If Sri Ramakrishna would not accept, the whole purpose of building the temple would go in vain. See the drama. He heard that his uncles, both, Ramakrishna and Ramkumar, and Rameshwar was at Kamarpukur, both of them were held in high respect by the authorities, and the chance of getting a job is almost 100%. So he came, and both of them, now Sri Ramakrishna got the company of Hriday, Hriday got the company of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was elder by a few years, but almost same age. That's why he used to call him Mama. Hriday was looking for an opportunity. What happened? Sri Ramakrishna, already he was very advanced spiritual. He was truthful, he was honest, he used to be absorbed, and he had all these development, physical. Swami Sharadhanji remarks, until Sri Ramakrishna plunged into spiritual practice, he did not know what was physical illness. Just imagine. Only after the severe sadhana, the body undergo certain changes, then he started suffering from. Otherwise, excellent health. What is the test of good health? We discussed it many times. What is the definition of health? Absence of body. When do you remember your tooth? When do you remember you have a head? Sri Ramakrishna was perfect physically. Mental health, he had a deep understanding. So once, Swami Vivekananda, we were reading here, Latu Maharaj was remarking, and Swamiji was remarking with Latu Maharaj, how does this man knows everything? He has not read any books. How did he know anything that Swami Vivekananda knew? Not academic, spiritually. Sri Ramakrishna knew much more. And he knew much more than Totapuri, much more than Aladari, much more than any Pandit. How did he come to know? That understanding is called Medha Shakti. Pray. Gayatri Mantra is meant for what purpose? So it is a prayer to God for giving us what? Medha. Medha means what? The capacity to understand things as they are. Sri Ramakrishna had intellectual, physical, intellectual. Emotionally, he was supremely mature. Aesthetically, legally. Legal, that lemon incident, it was nothing. But his body has rejected it. And aesthetically. He saw many times, beautiful thing, beautiful song, he goes into ecstasy. Beautiful sight, he goes into ecstasy. Beautiful sound, beautiful sight, even beautiful smell, because it reminds him of what? Only God. Aesthetically, morally, he was perfect. Now he has to use all these things to become spiritually also perfect. One day, Sri Ramakrishna, I told you, Sri Ramakrishna loved puja. So he used to fashion some gods and goddesses from the clay of the Ganges. And one day he fashioned Lord Shiva along with Nandi and bull. And he was absorbed. Madhur Babu happened to, by chance, see. And then he was attracted. By that time, Hriday had come. Then Madhur Babu, Hriday was running after Madhur Babu because he wanted to get a job. Madhur Babu was running after Sri Ramakrishna because he wanted to give him a job. And Sri Ramakrishna was avoiding Madhur Babu. Madhur Babu saw Sri Ramakrishna and he asked Hriday, who made this image? He thought that he must have got it from somewhere. Then Hriday explained, Sri Ramakrishna could fashion images of gods and goddesses. When he was at Kamarpukur, there were some people who used to make images, image makers, potters. So he used to go and correct them. When the eyes of gods or goddesses should be like this, etc. And they used to come to life. He could paint. He could fashion images. He could sing. His memory was phenomenal. I was talking, Narendranath was exclaiming, how did this man know so many things? But at that time, Swamiji perhaps did not understand. Sri Ramakrishna did not read. But there is one thing he did. What was it? He heard a lot. There was that incident when he was a small boy of 6 or 7 years. There was a discussion of Pandits. And the Pandits could not solve a particular puzzle. And this boy sits there and nudged a Pandit and said, could this be the solution for that problem? And the Pandit was astonished because that is the solution, nobody can controvert it. What a wonderful thing it is. So he really understood. He knows Sanskrit. Later on he said, I have not formally studied, but I can understand every word of Sanskrit. He could not speak in Sanskrit, but he knew everything. So by hearing, he has acquired lot of knowledge. And I don't know why Swamiji did not understand it at that time. Sri Ramakrishna was very intelligent. When he came to Dakshineswar, was he intelligent or not? He heard many things. Where from did he hear? Village Pandits is one source. The wandering monks who used to halt at Kamarpukur, he used to go and mix. He learned lot of Hindi songs and probably less of Bengali songs, etc. from the sadhus. And he learned the techniques of spirituality. He was not simply sitting there. And he was also very discriminative. Who are real sadhus? Who are hypocrites? Everything. Later on it comes. With this kind of eyes, you think that, it is a deception. He thinks he doesn't know anything. I can do whatever I like. With those eyes, he observes everything. Your past, your present, your future. And after getting moksha, your next birth also, he will know where he is going to come. Hriday told Madhur Babu that Sri Ramakrishna could fashion images. Madhur Babu was astounded that a man who could make such beautiful image, he must be a great person. With the permission of, Ramakrishna, he got that image and he took it to Rani Rasmani, showed it to her, and she was astonished that such beautiful image could be made by this village priest. Anyway, the attraction of Madhur Babu for Sri Ramakrishna grew and grew. One day, Sri Ramakrishna and Hriday were walking, and Madhur Babu saw at a distance, and seeing Madhur Babu, Sri Ramakrishna moved away from that place. Then Hriday asked him, why are you moving away? What is your problem? Then Sri Ramakrishna said, Hridu, Madhur is after me to accept a job. I am not willing to take up a job. And it is difficult, to give a harsh reply. No, I don't want to serve under you. That is why I am avoiding. Hridu said, what is wrong? By that time, his mind has changed. In what way? He accepted his eldest brother doing worship there, which he didn't accept earlier. And he was more or less ready because the Divine Mother was making him ready. Because if he is still rebelling, how can he accept a job? Kaikeyi, instead of asking one thing, she asked something else. That words from Kaikeyi's mouth, that my son should be coronated and Rama should be sent to 14 years of Vanavasa. Who brought those words out from Kaikeyi's mouth? Mother Saraswati. This Mother Saraswati worked. Hriday, the problem is, so many ornaments are there. I am not able to look after the ornaments. What is the relationship between the ornaments and worship? That means what? If somebody can take care of the ornaments, I am okay. Maybe he did not mean it, but Hriday caught hold of him and said, look, uncle, I am looking for a job. He didn't say that, brackets. I will take care of the ornaments, you do the worship. And Sri Ramakrishna now could not wriggle out. He said, yes. Hriday went and told Madhur Babu, and immediately it was done. Where was Sri Ramakrishna employed? Ramkumar was employed in worshipping the Divine Mother. Where was Sri Ramakrishna employed? Ramakrishna Mandir. Now, very soon, a peculiar incident happened. It was a holy day. Immediately after Sri Krishna's Janmashtami, an incident happened. There was one Pujari called Kshetranath, and one day he was taking Sri Krishna to put him to bed, and on the way he slipped. Who made him slip? Yeah, you have to understand who made him slip. Divine Mother. Because Sri Ramakrishna had to come, Then you see, God had broken his leg. He is ready to go to any extent to get his desire fulfilled. That is God. So then the question arose, a broken image could not be worshipped. But by that time, Rani Rasmani and Madhur Babu developed a high regard for Sri Ramakrishna. So they asked his opinion. Now what should we do? What was his reply? Peculiar reply. If Rani Rasmani's son-in-law breaks his leg, are you going to kick him out and then bring another son-in-law? Or what will you do? Will you repair his leg? And somehow against all Shastric opinions, both of them had agreed that the leg should be repaired and the worship continued as usual. Of course, Kshetranath was dismissed. Poor fellow. Somebody has to be a victim even in God's scheme also. Oh, now Ramakrishna will take that place. But first of all, repair. Who best to repair? Because Madhur Babu already knew that he was an expert in repairs. He was asked, and she said he repaired it so well that nobody could find out that it is really broken. Because Ramakrishna, he was an expert in these things. He knew how to set things right. And he is doing it even now also. He is doing how to set things right. In every one of our cases, he will do that. That was how Ramakrishna was introduced to do worship in Radha Krishna temple, and Hriday was employed as a caretaker of valuables. That was how he came. The master lived at Dakshineshwar for a month after the temple was consecrated in a state of inability to ascertain what he should do. At that time, Ramkumar and he had a controversy. Then you know what happened? They had to take recourse to a Dharmapatra. And that decided that whatever Ramkumar was doing is correct. Then Sri Ramakrishna came and lived, and for 2-3 months afterwards also, he refused to accept the prasada at daytime. Because, as I mentioned last time also, few days he cooked himself. Then he said, it is not very convenient. It's better, it is far better, to eat cooked food. We all come to that conclusion sooner or later. And so, but then Hriday said, he noticed his uncle weeping and said, Ma, he is calling Ma. In the end, you made me eat a low caste man's food. To whom he was complaining? He was eating her food and complaining to whom? To her. Anyway, that was what happened. So Hriday was employed, Sri Ramakrishna was employed. About Hriday. Another person intimately connected with the master's life came to Dakshineswar at that time. Hriday Ram Mukhopadhyay, the son of Hemangini Devi, the master's cousin, came to Burdwan at that time in search of employment. He was then 16. He was tall, handsome, and of a manly build. His physique was firm and strong, and his mind extremely active and free from fear. He could undergo hard labor and adapt himself easily to circumstances. One remark. He was free from fear. Was it really free from fear? No, he was not. Who was more fearless than Hriday Ram? Sri Ramakrishna. How do we know? He used to go into the Panchavati at night. And Hriday did not dare to go into the Panchavati. Few days, but one day he took courage, went inside, and first from a distance threw stones. One day he appeared nearby, and then he was shocked. What was Sri Ramakrishna doing? He was wearing birthday dress. That's why the mosquitoes of Dakshineswar must have loved Sri Ramakrishna, must have recognized Sri Ramakrishna as the holiest person on earth, according to Mosquito Krishna's description of a holiest person. Then he asked, Uncle, why do you do these things? It will come later on, but I am just telling. He was not that fearless, but more fearless, absolutely a person who knew no fear was Sri Ramakrishna. How do we know? He used to go into the crematoriums in Kamarpukur at night and used to take sometimes offered food, and that offered food used to disappear mid-air just like that. And when his brother Rameshwar came in search of him, he used to tell, Dada, do not come any near, the spirits may harm you. But would they not harm Sri Ramakrishna? No. Tell me why. There is a psychology. Animal psychology also, If you fear a dog, the dog also reacts to you exactly in the same way. If you don't fear a tiger, the tiger also will not fear you. It's a very peculiar psychology. Same thing with spirits. So if you fear spirits, the spirits also will somehow find there is no harmony between us. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to go and mix with the spirits and see. He knows that they were a reality. If any person knows the spirit as a reality, not the spirit. For us, spirit means what? Atman, not Atman, ghosts, etc. Then will he not believe in God? Because both are invisible principles, objects for us, as far as we are concerned. We have neither seen a ghost. The moment you see a ghost, you are sure to become a devotee of God. There is no doubt about it. Either through fear or through whatever it is. Anyway, description of always active, Hriday had not a bit of contemplativeness in him. Therefore, Hriday's mind, like those of all worldly people, could never be free from selfish urges. The help of a man of action, courageous, reverential, and averse to free thinking, was very necessary for the success of the contemplative life of one who was indifferent to eating, drinking, and all other bodily efforts, and was ever thoughtful and altogether devoid of selfishness. Did you understand this last statement? The Ramakrishna was being described as a highest contemplative, absolutely selfless, and always absorbed in contemplation, thoughtful. Such a highly contemplative person always requires the help of an active person. Because if both are contemplatives, what happens? Who is going to look after who? Hriday came at the correct time as part of the scheme of the Divine Mother, as Sri Ramakrishna as the sadhaka. That's very important. Everything. His gurus came, his help. First came the temple, then came his brother, then came Hriday, then all these things are according to the drama written by the Divine Mother long before. And this is all written long before. How do we know? Because when Valmiki was assigned, commissioned to write the life of who? Rama. And Rama was not even born at that time. And what did Brahma do? Brahma revealed. You know that beautiful story in Ramayana? Valmiki, he was a highway robber. And he became initiated by no less than Narada himself. And he was given the mantra. What was the mantra? Mara. Not Rama. Mara. Means Marijao. You die in order to live. That means die to this. And he did how many years tapasya? And a whole ant hill had grown up. That's why he was called Valmiki, means who emerged out of a ant hill. His name, I think, was Ratnakara. One day, after realization, he was going to the river for bathing. And there was a hunter who came to hunt in the forest. And there are Krauncha Mithuna, a pair, birds who pair for life. It's called Krauncha, something like pigeons. And the hunter killed one of them. I think female or so, I don't remember. Then it fell dead. And the male was watching it. And it said, when my darling is not there, what is my life's worth? It also falls down dead. And Valmiki witnessed this scene. And involuntarily from his mouth, a poem had come out. A shloka had come out. He was totally illiterate person before. This shloka came. Poetry. High poetry. That's why he was called Adi Kavi. First poet, according to India. And then he was himself shocked. What? This wonderful shloka came out of my mouth. Immediately Brahma appeared and said, that is a gift given by me to you, so that you are given the mission, your life's mission is to write the life of Sri Rama. And who is this blessed Sri Rama? Nobody knew about it because he was not even born. That is, all divine works are like that. Was Krishna born when the Akashvani came to Kamsa? The 8th son of Devaki was going to be your destroyer. And who was this blessed Sri Krishna? Nobody knew about him. So then Brahma sent his son, Manasaputra, who was Narada. And Narada came and there was a conversation between Valmiki and Narada. Who is this blessed Rama about whom I am supposed to write? And what was that? And then Narada describes the whole life as if Rama was already born and died. And this is what you have to write. And that was what Valmiki had composed. That is the drama taking place in Sri Ramakrishna's life. This whole script has been written. Hriday will come. He will serve you. And once that purpose is over, kick him out. That was what happened. He was dismissed in polite words because his purpose was over. Now he becomes not only redundant, he was inimical to Sri Ramakrishna's further mission. So this Hriday came. This is what Shardananda Maharaj remarks. The help of a man of action was necessary for a contemplative like Sri Ramakrishna. How beautifully the whole thing falls. Was this the reason why the Divine Mother bound up a person like Hriday in a profound relationship with the Master at the time of his sadhana? This was a question posed by whom? Swami Sharadananda himself and the great Master. Beautiful. We will discuss about further in our next class. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhur Muhuhu.